There's a lot of variety in what we do, and there's a lot of problems, and that's what I enjoyed working on is trying to work through problems and get things moving forward.
I like that I do something different really every day, and we get to help people, you know, and make our roads safer in the city of Jonesboro.
I like the problem-solving aspect of it. You know, I kind of give, hey, the public has a need to better understand what's going on, and I try to help them with that.
The engineering department is split into traffic, stormwater management, construction, and then GIS mapping. The traffic division is headed by Mark Nichols. He has 3 traffic signal techs that work for him, and they manage the traffic signals in the city.
As the traffic operations engineer, I oversee the traffic signals and their operation and traffic flow in the city, and work closely with the highway department with our state jobs, and also try to just improve the safety of our city streets and when it comes to vehicular, pedestrian, or even bicycles. One of the programs we started the last few years is our emergency preemption program, and the equipment that's used is Opticom, and the way that works is the fire trucks or EMS, but the fire trucks have a device in them where they're communicating with the traffic signal, their exact position. So as the fire truck approaches the traffic signal, it changes the light for them, and it gives everyone else the proper clearance times to stop them and give priority to the fire truck. And as you can see, as the fire truck approaches the signal, everyone else is stopped, and it turns the arrow on and the green balls on for that given direction. Matter of fact, the fire truck can even turn on their blinker, and it will turn an arrow downstream on for them if they know they're coming that way. So it's a pretty smart system. Cities have used this as far as in litigation. If someone runs a red light and hits a fire truck, we can go back and actually prove that the fire truck had the right of way and exactly what outputs were on at that time. And so it's paid for itself in one wreck at that point. Again, we have 25 of the 85 signals with this equipment on it, and we're slowly building to that every year as we get grant money to do that. The City of Jonesboro has a joint project between the Highway Department and both Union Pacific and BNSF railroads to increase the safety at 15 crossings in the city. The City of Jonesboro has 44 at-grade crossings. That means where there's no bridge. We went and studied these and tried to identify what improvements that would increase safety, and we're in the process of installing those now. Some of the improvements we're making are we're installing LEDs at some of the flashers so they'll be brighter, and then signing and pavement marking improvements. Just minimal improvements, but they may make all the difference in someone's life.
Our construction division is myself and Michael Morris kind of head up that portion of the department. Michael does plan review for private development work, for subdivisions or commercial developments.
I review civil projects, such as I do look at a lot of the new buildings for Jonesboro, the subdivision. I review the civil plans to make sure that they meet the city code. I do some of the design of our capital improvement projects. Some of those include maybe as Carraway widening, the sidewalks down Carraway just recently done, enclosing a drainage ditch on Ray Street, and just various other sidewalk projects around town. I am also often asked to help the street department, the planning department. The planning department often wants me to look at new developments to see how they're developing, how they're coming along. The street department often asks help in the design of maybe staking out some of the ditches or sizing pipes, culverts, and stuff like that.
Our mapping division is generally consists of Rusty McAllister, and Rusty keeps up with our GIS mapping, our databases of our asset management inventories for our drainage system, for our street system, for our signs, and other city assets that we manage and maintain.
GIS is a geographic information system, and what that basically means is we'll take any data in the city, such as our road locations, center lines, we know where they are. We can do ratings on them and the condition of them. Then we can go through and query which ones are in worse shape, best shape. We can plan for asphalts. We use these for 911 because we can actually route down the roads with them if we need to get somewhere. We see where they are. We put address points in them. We know where a house is, so we can get directly to your house. Traffic counts we look at to see how traffic flows are going, where heavy flows are, to try to look at what roads can be redesigned. we deal with the police on traffic accidents. And we look at it from what could have caused the accident. Is there a site problem? Is there a design in the road that could be different? Would a stop sign have prevented several accidents? If you see, we look at intersections, if they're getting a lot of accidents, what's causing it? Is it something that can be prevented, something that can be changed? I forget the cross-section, it's out on Aggie Road. A few years ago, there were several accidents every month. And we redesigned the curve, changed the elevation a little bit. There's been one accident I've seen in the last 10 months, I think, since that happened. And that one accident was a person turning left and a person behind them didn't stop. So there was nothing on the road design that would cause that. But, so we prevented several accidents by just redesigning a road a little bit. Pretty much anything that exists on the ground, you can map it and track it.
Stormwater is headed by Roger Gibson. He's our stormwater programs manager.
It's my responsibility that the city complies with the regulations of the EPA through their MS4 stormwater program.
We have our stormwater management program, and we also have site plan visits where we go to each construction site and make sure they're following the proper guidelines to keep silt from leaving their property.
We have an inspector that goes out and inspects all job sites, all construction job sites during construction to make sure they are maintaining the controls that they have said they would do to maintain the construction water on site.
In Jonesboro, we've got all of our stormwater drains mapped. We've got the pipelines between them mapped out so we know where they're going, what size pipes they are, where the water can go. The recent flooding event, I mapped out where all the calls occurred from. Then we went out and shot some high water marks, got how deep the water was at a certain point and where it got to, and was able to map from that and do some queries to see roughly areas that were flooding around that. Then we looked at streams that were in those areas, and the engineers have gone in and tried to redesign some of the streams and picked out ones that just needed cleaned out a little bit or reshaped a little bit, and we're still working on that. But because of being able to track all that, we can look at it in just a few minutes, what in the past would have taken months just to get a rough handle on.
Our department benefits the city, citizens of Jonesboro, because we maintain the street system, we improve the traffic signals, we do the drainage projects. We're involved with all facility construction projects or any sort of park project that comes up that's adding a asset to the city, that we're typically involved with those.
You know, we go on the job sites frequently. We travel to Little Rock for meetings frequently with the Howard Department and different consultants we're working with. Also, we work really closely with the public. We try to take their complaints or their concerns that they have and try to go out in the field and meet with them and address those concerns with them face to face if we can. Typically,
the engineering department receives phone calls, requests for specific project requests. If there's a drainage concern in their area, or they think that something may be wrong with the traffic pattern in a certain area, or people are speeding too fast, or going too fast on a particular roadway. Is there anything that we can do to help to calm the traffic in that area? So we get a variety of phone calls about things like that. So we interact with the public with those, try to resolve those issues.
In engineering, basically, we just make decisions on a daily basis regarding the scientific information, if you will, of a certain topic. Whether it's the traffic signals, we have to understand the programming of them. Whether if it's the construction, we have to understand the fine details in surveying and the water flow, through our drainage systems. We have to understand, I guess, the finer details of really how things work. And get into the nuts and bolts of things, and so we're just daily making decisions along those lines.